Hello D&D players. This is how far I've gotten so far. I still have tons more work to do on these guys. And the great thing about water-based paint is you can never be done with it if you want. You can just keep adding to it if you don't like something and continue with it. That's why I love this method of painting, which is so much easier than just doing oil-based paint on plastic. So here is the black dragon from the Temple of Elemental Evil, and I painted everything that I wanted to paint with watercolor. I painted with white oil-based paint, and I haven't done anything more with all the parts that are white, although I still have the option of doing it and make it even better. I did go over the tongue in red and the horns and the belly in gray. On the black dragon, and I went over the base with the color that I thought would look pretty good on the dungeon tiles. Yeah, and I think it really actually kind of does. And then here's my Earth Elemental. I'm pretty happy with him. So base paint was brown, and then I went over it with like a darker green, and then I went over it with, I think I might have used a stain on this guy too. I might have stained the whole thing with like kind of a greenish, and then went over it with light green highlight paint. And I like how he turned out. I think he's pretty good, and I did his base, so he's gonna look pretty good in the dungeon. At least the base doesn't like stand out like it would if it were the natural color like blue or whatever. This is my Etten, and I'll probably go over the weapon with more lead something or other paint that looks metallic, because on some of them where I've done more coats it looks even better. I didn't have orange paint, so he's supposed to be painted, the head on the left is supposed to be painted orange. I painted it purple because I didn't have orange, and then I put a purple stripe down the other guy's face because I didn't have orange. I like the way the club turned out. I like the way his skin turned out because we did like a Sharpie pink and yellow below. So it kind of gives the different areas of his skin a little bit different skin tone. So I like that. I left his breechcloth blue, and there's some white dots on it. So what I do is I go in and I can see them better in this light than I could last night. But I'll go in anywhere where there's a white dot that kind of detracts from it. I'll go in there with either a Sharpie is the easiest way, like a fine point Sharpie, and just make like a dot of some color that's similar to what it is. It can even be black. And go in so that those white dots don't show up as much. There's his base again, and I'll show you what the base looks like on the board. And then there's the back of them. Yeah, see, there's some white dots on the club too that I want to get rid of. The weapon looks okay, other than I'd like the end of the weapon that's metal to look more metallic. So here's what he looks like on the board. Pretty good. I like the texture of that yellowish paint on the basis. Maybe looks like some lichens or some moss or something like that, like on the ground, and I like that. And I like the texture that it's not just flat. Looks more realistic. And then the last thing I did was the elemental. Now I haven't painted his base yet. You can see I just went over with a green Sharpie. I went over it. So there's something for the watercolor to stick to. And then I'll go over it with that same green. Now he turned kind of yellowish because I thought I painted him with white base paint to kind of highlight them and make them look different from the water elemental, which I'm still working on. I want to give them more clear coats to make them look more wet all the time. This guy, he turned out kind of yellowish, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I didn't mix the paint well enough. So he looks kind of yellow. I can choose to leave him like that, or I can go in and give him more touches of white. So you can let me know in the comments what you think I should do. And I won't show you him on the board because the base is gonna stand out right now. Thank you, Dungeons and Dragons players. Have a good day.